Hello everybody, my name is Marlo. Today I'm going to walk you through how to build this Blackstone house in Minecraft 1.16. So here is all of the items needed for the exterior of the build alone. I have decorated the inside and I'll show you how to do all of that later with a separate materials list, but for right now we're going to be building up the main structure and all of this is what we will need. So the blocks up here inside of the barrel are to the exact number needed, so if you collect all of those you should be good. But down here in my inventory is all of the Blackstone needed. As this is primarily Blackstone this build, we're going to need a lot of it and I haven't counted out the exact figure, but we're going to be using polished Blackstone, regular Blackstone and cracked polished Blackstone bricks. So if you just collect around about everything I have here with all of the variants, you should be good. To begin with, we're going to grab our strip warp stem and place down our pillars. So we want to place down one in a corner and leave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 blocks in between each of them. So 5 again on this side and then one more connecting up. They should line up with both of the corners as you can see to make this square shape. And then we're going to bring each of those up by 7 more for a total of 8 on each pillar. And then once we've got that done, we want to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block there, place 2 going outwards on each of the pillars. Just like that. Now we can start work on the roof, so come to the top pillar block here and place an upside down stair on each of them just like that, with a full plank block on top of that one, stair again on both sides, and then an upside down one on the back of that, full plank block again, and then 2 more stairs facing upright. 2 upside down, and you kind of get the gist at this point. We're making a pattern here for a nice tall roof, but in the middle we want to put an upside down stair just like that. And now once you've done that, we can copy it on over to the other 3 sides, which should leave you with something like this. So now we can grab our warp slabs and come to this block right here, so the bottom half of this plank, and we can put a slab there on each of the 4 corners. So there's 1, 2, 3 and then 4, and then we can come up to the roof here and kind of add in our extension. So on the top of the upside down stair here, we're going to have a regular stair, upside down one, and then another one just like that. We can copy this over the other 3 times. And then we can come to the center and place down 1, 2, 3 stairs coming in from each of the extensions we just made with a full plank in the center. We're going to add in our first lot of Blackstone here, and for simplicity's sakes of this tutorial, I'm only going to be using the polished Blackstone and adding in texture later with the normal Blackstone and the cracked versions. But if you want to texturize as you go, feel free to do that. But as I said, just to keep it simple, I'm just going to be using one type of Blackstone for now. So come to the inside of your roof here and place down a full block next to the 2 stairs here, 4 more on either side just like this. And then we're going to have 2 more at the top on both of the sides, giving us a shape like that. We can then have a slab down the bottom here, 2 stairs facing outwards just like that, full block in the middle, and then a slab here and a slab there. And we can copy that over to the other 3 sides. The finishing touch on our roof here is to come to the center, place down a Blackstone wall with a fence on top to give it a little point, which I quite like. So now we're going to come to these pillars here and decorate them. So on the bottom block, we're going to have 2 upside down warp stairs, make sure they're facing outwards like that. Blackstone wall on top of them. Of course, if you're texturizing as you go, replace a couple of these with the regular Blackstone, but 2 fences on top, and then we're going to have a Blackstone button on our warp stems here, slab on top just like that, and then we're going to have a wall underneath this slab we placed a minute ago, a fence, and then a soul lantern. And of course, copy it on over to the other 3 pillars. Now we need to choose which of these sides is going to be the front of the house, and we can do that by placing a line of polished basalt going all the way across at the same level as these blocks that jut outwards, and on the front of those we can have some warp fence gates and make sure we open all of them up just like that. And underneath we're going to have warp stair, slab, and another stair. And underneath that, we're going to place our Blackstone stair 2 blocks away from this pillar and 1 backwards on that block there. And then over on the left side, 2 blocks away, 1 backwards, we're going to have our warp door down. 2 iron bars on top of that stair, and then we're just going to fill the rest of this in with normal Blackstone blocks. And then we can also replace this block above the doorway with an upside down stair to make the entrance look a little bit nicer. And then from this point here, we're going to have 2 upside down Blackstone stairs, two regular ones like this facing inwards. We're going to have a slab on top of those two with a stair just like that. Pretty much what we need to do now is copy over this little bit right here onto the other three sides, so the polished basalt, the fence gates, and the slabs and stairs. So we're going to have 5 horizontally going across like this, same level as that one. All of the fence gates at the front here set to open, underneath stair, slab, stair, slab, stair again, and copy that over to these two sides as well. As I'm sure you figured out by now, this build is quite symmetrical. There's a lot of repeating parts that need to be copied over, which is what we're going to do now with the bottom level here underneath all of this polished basalt on the 3 remaining sides. So we want to step inside here and make a line of Blackstone going all the way around. We'll obviously connect to the corner of the front here that we've already done, but we need 2 more in the center. Come to the outside, you can see looks a little bit like that, and then we're going to have 3 upside down stairs in the center. 2 more on the corner blocks here with a fence just like that connecting to the warp stair above it. 2 iron bars, and it should look like that, and I don't think I need to tell you what to do next. Copy it over to the other 2 sides, just in case anybody was confused. So that is the bottom part of this house done. We can now start work on this section, which, as you probably guessed, is the same on all 4 sides. So I'll just show you how to do one of them for now. And the first thing to do is come to this block right here, so 1 above the pillar, and just below the stair here we can have a slab and another one. Same again over on this side with a trapdoor above it on both of the sides, slab in the middle, and then another trapdoor below to make that shape. So on top of the basalt here, we're going to have a chiseled polished Blackstone, this texture right here, with 2 more basalt bricks on top of that, and then a chiseled right at the very top. 2 more Blackstone either side to make this T shape, and then we need 2 more full blocks in the corners here. On these 2 empty blocks of basalt, we're going to place some stairs, and then 2 more on each of the corner blocks here with an upside down one connecting just like that. And then on these 4 gaps here, we can have some warp trap doors, flick them upwards to make some nice windows. For the top section here, we need to grab our polished basalt again and have a line leading all the way up to the top. 4 of them to be exact, with some warp buttons at the front, and then we can just fill the rest in here with 4 more Blackstone on either side. Once you've done that, you can then copy it on over to the other 3 sides and you will be all done. That is if you've been adding texture as you built all of this. If your house is looking similar to mine and mainly made up of the normal polished Blackstone bricks, then it's going to be a good idea to add some of the normal Blackstone and the cracked versions, maybe even some of this polished Blackstone, but I'm not a huge fan of this block, so I'm going to leave it out. So pretty much you just want to grab a block every now and again and replace it with a variant, whether that's the cracked or the normal Blackstone, not forgetting the stairs we can also change out, and pretty much, and the walls as well down here. Pretty much just do this to your heart's content, as much or as little texture as you want. There's no real way to go wrong with this. And there we go, that is the exterior of the build all done. We can now head inside and work on the interior. These are all of the items we're going to need. I'll do a quick scan over in case you're not sure on what some of them are, but as you can probably tell from a lot of these items down here, it's going to be a pretty good house for a survival home, which was intended of course. And by the way, this lodestone, you don't need it. I've only added it in there because it's a pretty cool block. It does require a netherite ingot to make, however, so feel free to leave this out and maybe just grab an extra chest in replace of it. First things first, we're going to step inside and get rid of all of these blocks on the floor and replace them with this block right here, the warp block. So we're going to get rid of that one. It's going to make our door pop off, but we can just replace it down like so. And then we're going to make a circle going all the way around with the warped block with a shroom light in the center. And the twisting vines is how we're going to get to each level here. You can actually climb these things. If you want to, you can just place it down and let it grow up. But to make this a little bit faster, I'm going to bring them all the way up here, which should eventually reach the top of the roof. Just like so, and as you can see, you can climb up and down these things. 4 blocks up on the top of this Blackstone here, we're going to have 8 slabs going all the way around, leaving the center block open so we can actually climb up to the second level here. And then we're going to have 4 more slabs in each of the corners, as well as 4 more below all of the chiseled blocks, just like this. And then on the remaining blocks next to the basalt, we're going to place some upside down warp stairs, wrapping all the way around, which should look something like this. Just above the trapdoors here on any of the 4 sides, it doesn't really matter too much. We're going to have 5 strip warp stem blocks going all the way across, and same over on the other trapdoors. And then on the remaining blocks, we can have some slabs on the top half of the block. Same again over here, and then in the center we can have 2 either side of our twisting vines. Just hop onto the vine here and head up to the 3rd and final level where it's very dark at the moment, so let's add in a shroom light on each of the 4 corners here, 2 blocks up from the floor here, just below the Blackstone block, and then we're going to grab our warp stairs and place down 2 on each of the sides here in an attempt to try and smooth out our ceiling a little bit, and then we can grab our polished Blackstone brick stairs and as well as the normal Blackstone if you want to add a little bit of texture, of course, and just place 3 in each of the corners like I'm doing here. Heading back down to the middle level here, we're going to place down some of our survival blocks needed for crafting and all that other sort of stuff. So we're going to have some of our furnaces going along this side. Over on this side, we're going to have the smithing table, now has a use in 1.16, as well as the fletching table, which hopefully will at some point in the future. Stone cutter in the center, crafting table, cartography table, and then loom. Obviously, you don't have to place them down exactly as I have here, but make sure you've got all of them as they can be pretty helpful. And then over on the remaining side, we're going to have some barrels as a little bit of extra storage. We'll do some more up the top. But before we do that, we're going to have a shroom light in each of the 4 corners here and cover them up with a warp pressure plate. And I should say, if you followed the lighting arrangement to how I've done it in the video, you shouldn't have to worry about mob spawns. There are no 7 block light levels doing it this way, so you won't have a surprise creeper, which is always nice, of course. The bottom level down here I'm leaving empty for the most part, as we haven't exactly got a whole lot of room, but if you want to add in extra something down here, maybe your bed so you don't have to climb all the way to the top like we're about to place it down, you can always do that, or some extra storage, or really whatever you want. It's entirely up to you, but that is the bottom floor and the second floor all done. We can now come up here and place down our bed if we want to do that, and then we're going to have some strip warp stems in each of the corners here from the bottom up to the shroom lights, and then we can cover all of the shroom lights up with some warp trap doors. Just beside our bed here, we're going to have 2 upside down Blackstone stairs with a flower pot on each of those, and display the warp fungus and crimson fungus to give it that extra little bit of a nether feel. The final thing to do is to place down our storage, so we're going to have some sideways barrels on all 3 of the sides with some chests going along the top. Make sure you shift when you place these down, otherwise they're going to connect, but we'll have 3 on this side and then 3 more on this side with 2 opposite the bed, and then our lodestone in the middle. Obviously, if you don't want to pay another ingot to get this thing, you can just replace it with a chest, but the lodestone is pretty cool. If you don't know what it works like, pretty much you right click it with a compass and this compass will become enchanted and will point towards the lodestone, so if you ever get lost, you can just follow your compass home. And that, everybody, is going to be it for the video. I really hope it helped you out if you were looking to build with the new 1.16 blocks. They really are wonderful, aren't they? But I hope you did enjoy and that you liked the build. Thank you ever so much for watching, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see some more 1.16 content. I'm going to be doing many more videos like this in the future, so thank you for doing that, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.